Welcome back to the channel. Now, the prosecution has failed to produce proof that they still have the witnesses, still have enough evidence to prosecute Vybz Kartel and other appellants. They have also failed to tell the court what will be the cost, as they are saying they can't put a cost on justice. Now, before we get into that, may I make hear from Mark Golding's PNP as they call out the JLP for how elected officials are handling their posts while being elected officials. I'm going to hear what going on and they will continue reasoning. Look and listen.
First of all, we have Heroy Clark. He made reprehensible statements in a WhatsApp group falsely accusing PNP leader Mark Golding of committing an egregious offense. We also have Vybz, who has continued his practice of spewing baseless rhetoric. This time, he's falsely attributing a fictitious poll result to pollster Don Anderson. And of course, we can't forget that Vybz sought political mileage by divulging non-public personal data on a radio talk show, data that could only have originated from PICA's confidential database. We have Michelle Charles. She posted a video to her WhatsApp status repeating baseless and scurrilous allegations against the PNP leadership. And of course, Juliet Cuthbert. She's a state minister in the Ministry of National Security, and she recently used Twitter to incite racial division in Jamaica by asserting that persons of her skin tone have more rights to Jamaica than those whose skin is not similar to her shade. Such divisive comments are deeply damaging to the social fabric of our nation.
A long time people say elected officials act like high school students. From elected officials being upset that the opposition didn't win a seat in the local government election and saying then that them would have made them get no funding just because them are the opposition and for them party in power, to statements that were made about the opposition leader and I think his wife in our WhatsApp group. And when elected officials attack the party supporters or them give a speech, more of them say some things where you have to wonder if the speech was written by them. Because normally have somebody write the speech. But some of the things them say come like them just a freestyle. Them basically as a talk will come to them mind. And when them say some things and make some statements, it always causes some form of scandal or controversy. Talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Now on to the other stories that are making headlines today. Vybz Kartel seem to have received some good news. Now the headline reads, rough day in court for prosecution in Vybz Kartel retrial hearing. Now, the Court of Appeal has warned that it will not send the murder case involving Vybz Kartel and his 3 co-accused back for retrial unless the state can prove that the original witnesses are available to testify. You see them same individually where they give the statement at the station and then give one different statement in the trial. The court has said unless prosecution can now locate these individuals and convince them to testify again, the appeal court will not be sending this case back for retrial. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think the prosecution even know where these individuals are. These individuals may reside overseas. And overseas, not like on the Jamaican island with the 14 parishes. If an individual is in North America, somewhere in Canada, there is no guaranteed way that you can relocate them. Whether or not a true witness protection, then they send them go foreign or not. Because they might move from that state and live in a different state by now, get married, and they're somewhere else. It is also said that this was one of several grim declarations and what was a rough day in court for the prosecution as it opened its argument in favor for retrying the foreman for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. Acting Director of Public Prosecution faced tough questions related to the cost of a retrial and the availability of witnesses and the risk of resubjecting the men to a judicial process. Now think about it. That's why I say, some people I say, this judge is a no nonsense judge. Just like how she was no nonsense to the defense attorneys, where they say, yo, no retrial on basis of this and that. Some of the things the defense attorneys did say, while the court was looking into it, because some people don't know, the court is looking into the fact that Vybz Kartel health situation has been confirmed by doctors, and I just hearsay. Not because them never take, well, little Vybz say, but documents there for prove where attorneys are say. So it is facts. It is not made up, and the court knows that it is not made up. When they talk about Vybz Kartel's finances and Kyra Jones, that's the way that's about them thing there. Yeah, the judge is of course no nonsense, man. But the judge is also a no nonsense judge. For the prosecution, a one law for all. She asked them some questions where them can't answer. The article further went on to say the acting director of public prosecution had barely gotten to her feet when it became clear it would not be an easy day in the Court of Appeals. Now, the acting DPP told justices of the seriousness of the crime of murder and demanded an order for a retrial. She pointed out that the crime was allegedly committed over an illegal firearm and that the victim's body was never found. The senior prosecutor maintained that justice must be done both ways, but Justice McDonald Bishop wanted to know the exact cost of justice in the cartel matter. And you know why? Because after Vybz Kartel's defense attorneys won the Privy Council appeal, you know what the Privy Council said? First and foremost, I'm going to point out this. Attorneys locally recently pointed out that you see the cost for bringing a case to the Privy Council, the average Jamaican can't afford that. The average Jamaican living on the Jamaican island will never be able to afford that based on the wages being paid to workers on the Jamaican island. So you have to be rich, wealthy, celebrity, something like that. Now I mean accumulate a wealth of money, win the lotto, something. They are saying now that because of that, that may be one of the reasons why it seems like if you win the appeal court, I mean I don't know if I just in a Vybz Kartel case. Them say, yo, the Jamaican court for paying back the money. Give him back his money. We him spend upon the Privy Council. Now, if Jamaican lawyers are saying that, they say the cost for bringing a case go to the Privy Council is so expensive that the average Jamaican can't afford it. You know how much money that means that the government have to go pay back? I wonder if we even have fathom that. We can even imagine. And 100,000 and 150 grand and some whole heap of money the government have to go pay back. The judge is asking now, if you don't have all the ducks in a row, how is it that you want the Court of Appeal now? If you say, yes, we are going to commit Jamaica's resources, we already able to backlog the courts, we already say the court want this, the court want that, court reporter short, this one fix, them place I want bill up back, money want spend over there. So you know are saying you want the justice system to commit resources to a retrial. And then the acting DPP's response never make it no better in the judge mind. We can't read the judge mind. We don't know what the judge I think. But listen what the acting DPP say in response to a statement like that from the judge. The acting DPP responded that the state would just have to foot the bill. Whoa. Them I say the state have to go just pay feet. Well, clearly unconvinced, Justice McDonald Bishop responded, that's a novel interpretation of that factor, but I'll leave it alone. You know what she say? She say, I know your money, so you ask them for just spend it as sound look on things. Guess what the judge say? The judge say, really, if one case is going to deplete our resources in time, the judge going up. Time, money, human resources. Well, that case, law says, we have to consider if we are really going to put our economy through that. The court has said, the Court of Appeal has said them have to go think about if them are going to really put the economy through this. The people must say they want road, water, infrastructure. Is it Is this really the main concern of all the other criminals out there? Now the acting DPP again stated, I was quoted as saying, I don't know if we can put a fixed cost to justice. Justice McDonald shot back. That's a requirement of the law. She eventually urged the acting DPP to use her time wisely. Now, but follow the judge. The judge appoint out, say, oi, you don't need for no much of something cost before I ask we to commit state resources to a retrial. I don't know if it will cost the country 16 billion. I don't know. This man's a superstar. This man's catalog of the money. This man a fight for freedom. Suppose this man take it all the way. What will be the cost for even a retrial? If it got appeal again, what go on? Do you have the witnesses? The people who say them say what them say. You can't find them now to come back on the witness stand again and say them say what them say. I remember during the initial trial, for those who don't remember, when the defense cross-examined the witness, it was a disaster for the prosecution even then. Because it was brought to light that some of the things them the witness did say, because they must have everything documented. The cops write down where him did tell the cops. Where him tell the cops different from him tell the prosecution or where him did say in a court. And the defense did bring that to light, say, yo, him say one thing yes so, and one thing this so. But because he was the witness, you don't know, he had to be brought to court. The judge is saying no. Well, one of the judges is saying no. Do you have contact with this man? And will he be showing up to court for this retrial? We want to say we want. You know, so like them have no contact with him. You know, so like them can call him, send him an email, leave him on IG. Them can't get to him. If them can get to him, them must say yes. We can get to him. We talked to him recently, and they must say I'm ready. Them couldn't say that. And if they did have that, no doubt, them would have said that. No, them not. Them can't confirm some of witnesses. Them probably plan for use back the paper. Everybody seriously they're not gonna use back what they type up already and what it take place already and just like do a retrial with just paper. Just paper. Just what was said. No. Them must say the individual did need for dead. And them not have that. Them also can't tell the court how much it cost. And the court has said them not work with that. Talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. If you're new to the channel, just pass through, subscribe icon and then the bell icon. Until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours, of course, for to live, love, and prosper, and for to stay tuned.